Deep inhale, really drawing the navel in. Feel like you're creating space in the lumbar spine. And then actively awakening the core. Exhale, grow taller through that spinal column. Blowing the air out actively through the mouth. And one more time, we're going to hold at the top. So breathe in, take in as much oxygen as you can through the nose. Deep inhale, feel the lungs expand. And hold it there for 3, for 2, and 1. Release. Really drawing the belly button towards the spine. As your eyes are closed, just take a moment for an honest inventory of how your body feels right now. Meet your body where it is in this moment. Just releasing whatever came before this and whatever is to come after this, and find yourself present. Maybe set an intention for today's practice, or just embody this beautiful home that you inhabit every day. Release the hip flexors, soften the glutes. If you're holding tension in the booty, just relax. Melt the knees 1 inch closer to the mat. And gently float the eyes open, reaffirming the focus, taking that internal focus and bringing it out into the world while still keeping that honing in of the center. We're going to go ahead and walk the left hand out to the side and find a nice lateral side bend. Reaching, sweeping the right arm up and over the body. Keep that right sits bone glued into the mat. It's sinking down as you energize through the fingertips to find the curve in the right side body, actively pressing through that bottom arm to lift the bottom side as well. So left side should feel a slight stretch. And then gently draw the navel in. Allow that to bring the chin into the chest as you fold that top shoulder closer to the knee. Bring the right pinky finger down towards the mat and feel that opening of the thoracic back. So keep drawing the navel in. If you notice here that you're shrugging the shoulders into the ears, try to draw that right shoulder blade a little bit further down the back. Let it glide towards the tail. Release the forehead. Notice if you're holding tension, and just try to encourage the forehead a little bit closer to the earth. And then exhale, return to that lateral side bend, stacking the shoulders, opening up the chest. Energize through the fingertips to reach a little bit longer, and then slowly stack the spine up. Opening the arms to a nice T, and then we're going to reach up and over to the other side. Just walking your right hand out on the mat, wherever it feels right to you. Make sure that that top shoulder isn't shrugging. We want that big, juicy space between ear and shoulder. Again, actively pressing through that bottom forearm or palm, wherever you are. Keeping that weighted pelvis, tail grounding. And then again, draw the navel in first. So proximal grounding, really using the core to ignite this stretch. As you slowly lower the left pinky finger closer to the earth, feel the curve in the spine as you gently permit the head to be heavy. So really acknowledge the weight of the body, your head being the singularly most or heaviest part of the body, and just encourage it closer to the earth. Take a deep inhale, again, expanding the back ribs. And exhale, go ahead and extend the left arm out long again, finding that nice side bend, and reach up, placing both palms down to the mat. Roll the shoulders once again away from the ears. You can prop yourself up on your fingertips or press the palms, the heels of the hands into the mat. Just make sure that that spinal column is tall. Again, never shrugging the shoulders. So feel the beautiful wide chest as you tuck the chin towards the sternum, and then bring the right ear over the right shoulder. We're going to begin to draw a small U. Chin returns to chest on a deep exhale, and then bring that left ear over the left shoulder. Again, inhale, exhale, rolling out the neck. And being gentle with yourself here. So there's no need to rush. You don't need to be at the same timing that I am. Just sensing the body, feeling the openness of the neck and indulging in every crevice. As the left ear stacks over the left shoulder, we're going to reach the chin up towards the ceiling and start to draw a circle to the back. So here I want you to notice that we're not dumping the back of the head, the weight back. We're really lifting the chin, drawing a big arc with the bottom side of the chin as you roll side to side. And one more time, over to the right, meet me there, and then stack the spine up tall. Find that long spine, draw the navel in a little bit deeper so you feel the lumbar spine stack tall. Tendency is to lean forward, but I want you to never fly open those ribs. Really keep them knitting together. We're gonna place the fingertips right beneath the collarbone. So find that bony point on your chest and then place the fingertips gently underneath. You're gonna actively give yourself a gentle press into the collarbone as you lift the chin up towards the ceiling. I want you to feel the tendons beneath your fingertips stretch. Feel the shoulder blades sliding down the back, and then actively draw the chin back towards the chest. We're going to do that one more time. Take a deep inhale and float the eyelids, the chin, the nose up towards the ceiling as you pull down underneath the collarbone. And then exhale. Bring the chin back, interlace the fingertips, bring the palms behind the head. Elbows are spiraling forward, and then we slowly again tuck the chin into the chest. Allow the forearms to close. So knitting those forearms closed just as we're doing with the front ribs, almost illustrating with our arms, our periphery, what we're activating in the core. Just allow the weight of the forearms to melt your head closer to the mat. Feeling that stretch behind the neck, perhaps between the shoulder blades. Keep the navel drawing in and lumbar spine stacked long. So make sure the hip points are not behind the pubic bone. We're not rounding in the spine, in the lower spine here. I want you to keep the lower spine tall. And just allow the head to fold over as if you're arcing up and over the rib cage. And then take a deep inhale. Exhale. Release. See if you can soften in this pose. Release the shoulders away from the ears. One more time. Inhale. Inflate those back ribs. So acknowledging the posterior chain, the back side of the body. And then exhale, slowly start to stack the spine up tall. Bringing one vertebrae on top of the next until the crown of the head floats up. Reach the fingertips up towards the ceiling. Energize through the palms. Create length in both sides of the waist. Press the palms down and open up the arms. Feeling that beautiful wide chest. Clavicles are open, big wide back. And as your palms return to the mat, we're going to go ahead and find a quadruped. So knees are coming directly underneath the hips and arms directly below the shoulders. Just find a little cat and cow. So draw the navel in, allow the forehead and the tail to drip down towards the floor. And inhale. Open up the chest, lift the sternum as the crown and the tail float up towards the ceiling. Again, exhale, starting from the center, draw the belly button in and find that beautiful curve of the spine, honoring, respecting the natural curvature of our mobile spine. And then inhale, relax the shoulder blades, draw them far from the ears as you lift the chin like a ray of sunshine is beating on the sternum. One more time. Those front ribs, try to knit closed. So come closer to the hip points like we're closing up that core box as you find that curve in the spine. And then inhale, find cow. Swaying in the back, and then draw the navel in and find the space right in between. So actively reaching in two opposite directions. Crown is reaching in one direction, tail in the other. And I want you for a moment here to just really find that space between the shoulder blades by actively pressing the heel of the hand into the mat. So we're not shrugging the shoulders or dumping in the lower back. I am engaging my belly button and opening up the scapula here. We're going to take little Scapula push-ups. So you're just gonna allow the shoulder blades to kiss, keeping the arms long, eye of the elbow forward, and then exhale, press up, open up the back. Inhale and lower, shoulder blades kiss, exhale, separate them, find them wide. 2 more, keep the nose between the thumbs. Just waking up the back, exhale, press away, protracting the shoulders. 1 more time, retract. And exhale, open up that back. Stay there, and we're gonna gently begin to bend the elbows directly behind us. Now try here not to pour the weight too far back. We want the weight over the arms so we can continue to engage the core, just bringing the forehead down to the mat like a prayer, and then exhale, engage the belly to lift up. Lowering, flexing at the elbows, keep the shoulder girdles stable, and then exhale, keep the core engaged. 2 more, lower, forehead tries to tap the mat, opening up those sits bones, and exhale, press. 1 more time, draw the navel in, lower, pouring weight onto the palms, and exhale, press it up, coming down onto the forearms. Bring those forearms or those elbows directly underneath the shoulders. We're actively externally rotating open the shoulder. I'm actually going to take my sweater off now. And engaging the core. Again, don't pour the weight back into the legs. We really want it forward, drawing the navel in like you're opening up the booty cheeks, the sits bones. You're pressing away from the mat. Keep the focus low, opening up the space, and extend the right leg out long. We're just going to lift and tap it down. Hips stay square. We lift and tap it down. So leg stays long. Both hips and shoulders are like headlights towards the mat. Keep going. We lift and lower down. So it's glute and then abs. Draw that foot back to the floor. We lift and tap it down. Hold that right leg up, hover it, and begin to draw small circles on the ceiling. Really trying to find length in the spine. Remember not to shrug in the shoulders. And then reverse, actively pressing through the forearm. If you need a wider base here, you can always bring the palms together and open up the elbows to the width of the mat. Keep hugging the midline. And then go ahead and bend that right knee, flexing the heel. We're going to start to take gentle pulses like you're stomping on the ceiling. We pulse, keeping the 90-degree angle in the knee. Hamstring and calf stay in that same relationship. Knee in a space hold. Really reaching through the Achilles. It's 8. It's 7. It's 6. It's 5. 4 more. Pour the weight forward. 3. It's 2. And 1, you're gonna bring that right knee down and begin to come back up on the palms, finding that beautiful long spine. And then again, bring the right knee in towards the chest, allowing the spine to curve, and then send it out. 1 long line from crown of head to those toes. Again, exhale, really drawing the navel in to initiate. And then inhale, extend out long. So here we're really finding that proximal grounding, distal reaching. Your periphery is trying to open long. Find that nice stretch behind the knee. And then engage the belly, arc the spine. Exhale. Inhale, reach. And last one, exhale. And inhale, reach. Keeping that right leg up, we're going to begin to draw a big U. So I'm going to cross the midline, bringing my big toe to the left corner of the mat, and then keeping my hips square, I'm going to arc to the right corner of the mat. Again, lift up and over, targeting that glute right where it meets the hamstring, and then up and over to tap the back corner of the mat. So you're just drawing this upside down U, a big arc. Again, don't sink in the shoulders here. You want the abs engaged. 1 more each side. Tap and exhale. Tap the right corner. Go ahead and tuck the toes and bring yourself onto your left forearm. The elbow is directly underneath that left shoulder and fingertips are facing the front. For the first time, I'm gonna allow you to open up those hip points as you send the right leg back. I want you to bend the knee, creating a diamond shape so that right heel is coming towards the right sits bone, and keep that space there. We're gonna bring that leg down and bring it up. It's down and bring it up. Try not to sway in the lower back, so keep pressing actively through the bottom arm. Pour a little bit more weight in that right hand as you lift. We'll lower and lift. Two more. We lower and lift. Last one, let's take small pulses. Here we go, just pulse it up. Moving that knee an inch. 3 and 4, 4 more. It's 4, 3, 2, and 1. Top shoulder far from the ear. Only 4 more. Here we go. It's 4, it's 3, it's 2, and 1. Flex that right heel. Bring the knee all the way to the side and then close it up, beginning to draw a circle. Keeping that knee in the same position, you take it back out to the side and then close up those inner thighs. Hug them tight. Reach that leg back, open up the knee, finding external rotation and close it up. Knee comes in line with the sits bone as you lift and then open up the knee. Reverse the circle, taking it out. Pour more weight into the right hand. Don't lean away, and then bring that right knee back and close it up. Out to the side. As if this movement has no stop. You just keep redirecting the motion. So you take it out to the side. Draw the knee back and close it up. Last time we open and bring that knee back. Hold it here. Find those last 8 pulses up. 2, relax that top shoulder. 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Go ahead and lower that right knee and send yourself back into child's pose. If your hips feel any tension, you can open up the knees to the width of the mat. And just allow the chest to sink, either lying on the thighs or encouraging it closer to the mat between that space. Heels are heavy on the glutes. Actively walk the fingertips out 1 more inch and relax. Give a little bit of traction in the forehead. Shrugging or dragging those shoulders blades down the back and creating space in the back of the neck. So keep the pelvis soft, glutes heavy, and pressing the forehead into the mat. Rock slightly forward, up onto the crown of the head. And then gently scoop the tail and begin to stack the spine. Vertebrae by vertebrae, the tail comes under. Keep drawing the navel in as you stack the lumbar spine and then the thoracic back. Find the cervical spine, roll the shoulders away from the ears and feel the crown of the head floating up, almost as if the spinal column is right up against the wall. And we're coming onto the other side. So I'm going to turn so you can see me. And starting again with our forearms down to the mat. Remember, you can always press the palms together and open up the elbows. I just don't want you to shrug in the shoulders. We want to activate the core. So think about knitting those ribs closed as you extend the left leg out long. And again, we tap it down and lift it up. Hips are square right now. So you're really engaging the core and the booty. Find that place where the glute meets the hamstring. That's the area we're targeting while we use the core to stabilize. 2 more. Tap, exhale, lift. We tap, exhale, lift. Draw those circles. Hug the midline, really like you're poking a hole in the back wall. Make it as small as you'd like, really working through your own range of motion. Reverse. I want you to feel the muscular movement of the glute and the hamstring, but try to keep that femur, that thigh bone skeletal so that the hips can stay square. Last one. And then flex the heel, reach to the Achilles, find that length behind the knee, and we begin our pulses. Stomp the ceiling. 8, 7. Keep lifting through the core. It's 4, 3, 2, And 1, 8 more. Pour the weight slightly forward, keeping that core engaged. It's 4, it's 3, it's 2, and 1. Go ahead and lower that left leg. Bring yourself up onto the palms. Bring the heels of the hands directly below the shoulders, finding length through the spine, and then lift that left knee, hover it over the mat as you draw the navel in, bring it closer to the chest, as if the knee and nose could kiss, and then extend out long. Again, exhale, drawing the navel in, closing up the core box, arcing the spine. Inhale to extend. Keep externally rotating the shoulders. So as you open up that leg and send it towards the back wall, I want you to feel the shoulders reach away from the ears. 2 more. Exhale, round the spine. And inhale, extend. Last one, round the spine. Inhale, extend. Find that long spine from tail to head. We lift the leg, cross the right corner, tap it down, and then left corner. So we're reaching up and over. Don't cheat here. Really draw that big half moon shape up and over to tap. We lift and tap. Keep the hips square and tap. So those front ribs are really closed, facing the mat. 2 more sets. Lift up and over, tap that back corner, crossing the midline, and then opening up. Last one. Lift and tap. We lift and tap. And then just for a moment here, tuck those left toes, bring yourself down onto the right forearm. I'm opening up my hips now. They're facing the screen. Find that energy out through the crown of the head. That bottom shoulder is far from the ear. Top shoulder as well. And lift that left leg, bend the knee, create that diamond shape. And we just scoop it down and lift it up. Scoop it down and lift it up. Scoop it down, knee in a space hold, finding that lateral glute. 4 more. We lower. Exhale, lift. Core is engaged. So I'm not sinking in my lower back or pressing my weight towards the legs. Here we go. Find those gentle pulses. It's 8. It's 7. It's 6. Keep pouring the weight forward for 4, for 3, for 2, and 1. 8 more. You've got this. Lateral glute is getting spicy, but we're in this together for 4, for 3, flex that heel, draw that circle, bring the knee out to the side, hug the midline, close those knees, let them kiss before you send the knee in line with the sits bone. Open up the hip and close, drawing those big circles, keeping yourself as square as possible in the rib cage. And exhale, knees kiss, reverse the circle, going out and then sending the knee back in line with the sits bone. Really hug it tight before you lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, bring it in. Finding mobility in the hip. And exhale, lift. Last time, drawing that circle. We hold it here. Find that 90-degree angle. Gentle pulses. 8, 7, 6. Heel is reaching up towards the ceiling. 2 more. And then lower that left heel. Again, send yourself into child's pose. Open up the knees. You can rock side to side if your body's craving movement. If you want to loosen up those hip flexors. And relax the forehead. Walk the hands over to the left side. Keep the right sits bone grounding. As you take a deep exhale and allow the forehead to just soften towards the floor. Release, feeling a stretch in the right side body. Noticing where you need to recruit and where you can just release. Keeping that weighted pelvis, spider walk the hands over to the right side. Keeping the left booty cheek heavy on the heel. As you slowly float the head down, it melts into the floor, creating space in the vertebrae. Maybe you can walk your fingertips out an inch further. Deep inhale, exhale, return to center, scoop the tail, and start to roll up through the spine, giving each vertebrae a moment of love as you stack the spinal column up tall. Almost feel like you're lifting with space in between as you find those vertebrae in that long spinal column, and then coming onto the belly. So I'm actually going to switch the direction so you can see me. But I want you to find your stomach on the mat. You can open your legs a little bit wider. I'm in external rotation. I find that it gives me more availability or mobility in the hips. I feel like it opens up the pelvis a little bit more. But you're welcome to bring the tops of the feet down to the mat, whatever feels right for you. Just feel the forehead heavy in the mat. And the first thing I want you to do is bring the palms underneath the shoulders, roll the shoulders away from the ears. Forehead is heavy and we're lifting the belly away from the mat. So I'm doming my belly away. I feel the rims of my hip points and the pubic bone pressing into the mat. Tail is heavy in a downward scoop. I'm going to send energy out through the crown of the head, pour weight into the palms, and lift my spine in a beautiful spinal extension, keeping the focus low, belly in, front ribs in a downward spiral. Engage those glutes, and then exhale, slowly lower down. 2 more like this. Inhale. Make sure you're not reaching the back of the head as sort of a symbol of the extension. We want length behind the neck, energy between the ear and the shoulder. Exhale and return to the mat. One more time. Lift the belly first. Feel the pubic bone pressing into the mat as you extend through the spine. And exhale, lower all the way down. Go ahead and feel the forehead heavy in the mat. And then we're going to reach the arms out long, extending the fingertips towards that front wall. Roll the shoulders away from the ears and just lift the right arm and lower. Lift the left and lower down. So we're not rotating. Shoulders stay square. Just working with some shoulder differentiation. Length through the back of the neck. Right and lower down. It's left, marching through the arms. One more. It's right and lower, left and lower down. Both arms lift. Exhale, lower. Both arms lift. Exhale, lower. Feel that scapula working. Shoulders far from the ears. 4 more like this. Just lift and lower down. Keep engaging the core and lower. 2 more. We lift and lower down. We lift and lower down. Now you're going to take the crown of the head out and up, drawing a big U as you lift the arms off of the mat and just lower everything down. So arms and head lift and lower down. Make sure you're not pressing or poofing the belly out to lift away from the mat. You want that belly drawing in. So the exact opposite. You're drawing the navel in towards the spine and lower. 2 more. Lift up and lower down. Last one, lift up. We're going to hold it here. Flip the palms to face the outside and then draw those fingertips towards the heels, really feeling the shoulder roll back. And then flip the palms again and reach them overhead, drawing these big circles. Again, press the air away like you're swimming. And then reach the palm open. Pinky fingers down as you glide the arms over the head. 2 more. Swim back. Find energy through the back of the neck. Reach taller through the spine. Flip the palms. Sweep the arms overhead. Moving with control, mindful, thoughtful, deliberate movement. Moving slowly with intention. And last time. Bring the arms overhead and slowly lower all the way down. Just find that bend in the knees and rock the feet side to side. Just a little windshield wiper motion to relax that lower back, letting the weight of the legs fall. Deep breaths. And then again, send the legs out long. Bring the forehead to the mat. We're going to begin that breaststroke. So we're going to lift the arms and the head off of the mat. Draw the arms back and then develop them through. So bringing them, curling them, uncurling them to extend. And then exhale, fingertips chase the heels. Inhale, reach. Exhale, press. like you're moving through water, something gooey. Exhale, press. Keep that tail heavy. Keep the pubic bone pressing into the mat. Last time, extend and press it back. Just reach the arms out to the T. Start drawing small circles. Middle finger to sternum. So feel the back included. Feel the space underneath the armpits. Reverse the circle back to front. 2, focus stays low. Create a little bit more space in the back of the neck. 6, 7, and 8. And then go ahead and bring those arms back overhead. Lower yourself down. Forehead can stay heavy in the mat, or you can stack the palms to create a little pillow for yourself. We're going to begin to work through the legs. If you've created this pillow, forehead rests on the stacked hands, elbows wide, shoulders far from ears. Bring those feet a little bit closer in so that heels are in line with the sits bones. Lift the right leg and lower down. Lift the left and lower down. So as I lift my right hip point presses into the mat, belly always doming away, and lower down. We don't want tension or compression in that lower back. So if you poof out your belly, you're creating a very compressive load in that lower back. I want you to draw the navel in, like just the rims of the hips and the pubic bone and the ribs are touching the mat. Belly button is always drawing in. One more time each side. Bend the right, extend the right and lower down. Mind to muscle right to where that glute meets the hamstring. And then we're going to lift the right leg off of the mat. Hover the knee as you bend the knee. Bring the toes up towards the ceiling. And you're just going to take the knee out to the side, almost like you're creating a figure 4. And then exhale, hug the midline. Bring it back. Again, open. Exhale, bring it back. Let the head be heavy. So again, noticing where you can release and where you need to recruit. Find those glutes, engage the core, and bring that knee in. Hug the midline, using the medial thigh and those adductor muscles. Inner thighs are working hard. We're moving through like a clamshell. So your outer and inner thighs are working just as hard as your glutes. One more. Open. Exhale, close. Point the toes, pulse the knee up. 2, just moving it an inch. Don't let it tap the mat. For 4, for 3, for 2, and 1. And then keep that knee lifted as you extend the right leg out long. Grow taller through the spine. Roll the shoulders further from the ears. Crown of the head reaching long. Toes in opposition, and lower that right leg down. Left leg, lift it up by actively pressing the right sole of the foot, top of the foot down, and then bend the knee, hovering the knee over the mat. We open the knee to the side and exhale, hug it in. Open the knee, exhale, hug. So keep those hips square. You really should feel a wrapping sensation in the glute as you open the knee, trying to work that glute muscle 3-dimensionally. External rotation, internal rotation. Open the knee and hug. 2 more. Soften the face. Unclench the jaw. 1 more time. Open and close it up. We pulse the knee up. 2, navel in. 3, 4, soften the tail. 6, 7, and 8. And then keep that knee hovering as you extend, working the hamstring, the most underworked part of the body. As you extend that left leg out long, create space in the vertebrae before you lower. Bring the palms back underneath the shoulders and pour weight into the arms to lift yourself back into child's pose. Just take a gentle moment here. Find the breath, quiet the noise, and return to this beautiful body as you scoop the tail, stack the spine. Feeling those glutes tingling and sending them down, surrendering to gravity through the pelvis. As you float the crown of the head up, we're finding our sits bones. So we're gonna sit on those parts of the bodies we just worked, bringing the soles of the feet in front of us, bending the knees in a generous bend. So you may need to walk your booty out a little bit further to feel that tall spine. I don't want you to splay the rib cage open, so draw those front ribs down towards the belly button. Pubic bone is lifting up, spinal column is long. Just place the fingertips in the pockets of the knees. Start to roll down, drawing the navel in. Hip points come behind the tail, finding that C curve. And then as you start to lift, draw the navel in, round the spine, find the sits bones, and lift the front ribs off of the belly button to stack up tall. Again, navel draws in, ribs in a downward spiral, reaching towards the belly button as the pubic bone scoops. Feel the lower abs fire, and then draw the navel in, rounding up. Keep the shoulders far from the ears, stack the spine. One more time like this. Exhale. Navel draws in, trying to meet the ribs and the hips. And then slowly send yourself back up, rippling through a supple spine. Extend the arms out long, roll the shoulders away from the ears. We're going to do this once more, drawing the navel up and in. And once you feel those lower abs fire, we're going to start to pulse. It's 8. It's 7. So just a very specific movement. Front ribs are knitting down towards the belly button. My hips aren't moving. 4 more. It's 4. Open chest, wide back. It's 3. Keep drawing the navel in. 4, 3. It's 2 and 1. Go ahead and round the spine. And as you stack on those sits bones, lift the rib cage, find length in the side body as you float the fingertips up towards the ceiling. Feel the openness in the chest, broad back, and release those shoulders. The humeral head just falls into that ball and socket joint of the shoulder. And we're going to go ahead and lower down one more time, rolling down. Tail is in a slight scoop under you. Pubic bone is lifting up. Right leg is going to come into tabletop. And we're going to take gentle pulses. So right leg comes in and extend out. Notice here my chest doesn't move. So we're not pumping the chest to bring it in. My ribs are fixed in the C curve. Just extending and bending that knee. It's in and out. 2 more. Bring it in and out. Lift the knee as it comes in. And then slowly send that right leg back down. Lift the left leg into tabletop. No tension in those hip flexors. Keep drawing the navel in. And again, we extend and bend it in. Deep engagement of the core. Like there's a string attached to the top of the knee and the belly button. You need to draw that navel in. Open up the middle back. Extend and bring it in. Extend and bring it in. Let that thigh bone just fall into the hip. Last one. Extend and bring it in. Go ahead and lower that left leg, rounding up. And this time extend the legs as you reach the fingertips up towards the ceiling. Feel that long spine, heels in line with the sits bones. Press the arms down, shoulders far from the ears. Draw the navel in, reach up and over a beach ball, spinal stretch. Really arcing up and over, and then ground the tail as you stack the spine, vertebrae by vertebrae. Deep exhale. Release that exhale through the crown of the head. Create space. Again, folding forward, hollowing out the tummy. So really drawing the navel in as if there's a hook between those front ribs. And then unclench the glutes. Let them soften as you stack the spine. Really keep the work in the core. 2 more, up and over. Letting the ears come between those elbows and noticing that the only reason your arms are reaching forward is because they're so connected to the torso. Really, all that's working here is the torso. The arms merely extend as you fold forward, and then slowly stack the spine up. Vertebrae by vertebrae, find that tall spine. Flip the palms to face one another. Keep those glutes heavy as you open up the right arm. Focus follows, hips and heels stay square. Spinal twist, and then bring that right rib closer to the left hip point as you knit everything back to center. Left arm opens. Focus follows those fingertips. 2 oppositional pulls, crown of head to tail, and fingertip to fingertip. Exhale, close it up. One more time. Wringing through the spine like a wet dish towel. Try to grow taller. And exhale, keep that height as you close that right arm. Left arm opens up. Deep inhale. Ribs try to meet as you exhale, wringing out the spine, closing up the ribs. And then we're going to gently start to roll down. Keep those shoulders far from the ears. And we're going to stack the arms like a genie. Roll the shoulders away from the ears. We're going to twist over to the right and exhale, center. So I'm not hinging here. I'm in that deep C curve. And exhale, center. Keep those legs soft. They're just heavy in the mat. Exhale, knit the ribs close, back to center. Twist energy out through the crown of the head like steam in a train. So really release that exhale. Grow taller in the spine. Don't make it compressive in the back. Twist and exhale, center. We twist to the right. Draw the navel in first to come back. And left. Exhale, center. Reach those arms out. Lift up and over and round forward. Take a deep inhale. Exhale, tailbone reaches towards the pubic bone. Pubic bone reaches towards the belly button, finding that same place we just found. Patterning the same thing, but this time I'm going to encourage you to keep the arms out long. Palms stay equidistant to one another as you rotate right. And exhale, center. Rotate left. Exhale, center. Opposing booty cheek stays heavy on the mat. Shoulders really far from ears. Big, juicy space. Exhale, center. Working those obliques. Trying to target the transversus abdominis by scooping the pubic bone up towards the belly button. It's a little bit deeper than a Kegel, but that's the exercise you're trying to emulate here. We twist and exhale, center. Twist to the left. Exhale, center. Slowly round the spine, rolling up. Allow yourself to fall forward. And this time, just let the palms come down. Let the nose fall to the knees. You can shake out the legs. You can nod the head yes, whatever you need here. And just find the head resting, the heaviest part of the body, trying to touch or kiss the knees. And then ground the tail rooted into the mat as you stack the spine up tall. As we stack, we're going to bring those palms together. So I want you to create fists. You're pressing the knuckles together. We're going to go into a rowing series. So I'm actively pressing, finding the energy between the knuckles as I draw the navel in to roll down. I'm going to gently swim, opening up the arms, diving the head forward, up and over. Pinky fingers reach in opposition to the crown of the head. Lift the pinky fingers up higher, and then start to roll through the shoulders as you stack the spine. Again, bring those arms back. Pressing them together as you roll down, and then open up, widen the chest, dive the head forward. Find that stretch in the shoulders, reach through the pinky fingers, draw the navel in, lift the fingertips up and roll out through the shoulders. Almost like there's hooks underneath the bottom side as you stack. Two more like this. Draw the knuckles in, really pressing, elbows wide. Inhale, exhale, dive forward. And then slowly lift the fingers and stack the spine like you have wings on your back. So really acknowledge those shoulder blades again. Coming down. Feel those lower abs engage and then dive forward. Lift up. Find that really open back. Pinky fingers reach up and roll out the shoulders, stack the spine. We're going to add on or intensify this exercise. So if that was enough for you, stay there. If not, I want you to rotate the palms up towards the ceiling and then down towards the floor as a function of the thumb leading the exercise. So your thumb opens and extends the arm. So notice here that we don't need to move the shoulder. Our body is so incredible that we can move just from the elbow down as our radius folds over, twists over the ulna and down. Last time, flip the palms up and bend the elbows. Elbows come in line with the shoulders. Palms are facing you. You're going to find neck pull. So we're going to dive back for the only time. I want you to feel like the spine is a board. You're going to dive the back of the head towards the mat, finding a long spine, keeping those elbows in line with the shoulders. And then exhale. Draw the navel in and slowly start to roll down. Extend the arms out as the base of the skull reaches the mat. Flip the palms to face the ceiling and circle the arms, pinky fingers whoops, come to the outside of the thighs. And then again, cervical nod, cervical curl, tucking the chin into the chest. Keep the palms reaching up towards the ceiling as you roll up and over, rounding the spine. And then as you stack, bend those elbows, bring them back. Find that long spine. Again, dive the back of the head back. Keep that belly lifting up, long back, open chest, and then slowly draw the navel in, rounding down. Supple spine. Each vertebrae takes a moment to reattach to the mat. Extend the arms long. Flip the palms up towards the ceiling and circle. Take a deep inhale. Exhale. Cervical nod, cervical curl. Legs are heavy and reach up and forward, keeping the palms facing the ceiling. Draw the navel in. Stack the spine. Bend the elbows. Try to find that coordination. Everything arrives at the same time. Long spine, energy out through the crown, and then draw those front ribs down towards the belly button. As you lower, extend the arms, flip the palms, and circle. Cervical nod, cervical curl, chin comes into the sternum. You're really lifting with that scoop. Reach the arms forward, shoulders far from the ears. And last time, bend the elbows as you stack the spine up and out, back up. Or the back space is really long and wide. You have a beautiful chest, proud chest. Draw the navel in, send the arms back, and find that length. Flip the palms up towards the ceiling. Just stretch out the toes in opposition to the fingertips. You can ring out to the spine. You can shimmy through the hips. Just create space here, and then exhale, relax. Everything returns to the mat, including that lumbar spine. We're gonna float the fingertips up towards the ceiling. Lift the shoulders as you pulse the fingertips high, and then exhale, let that humerus fall down as the shoulders return to the mat. Again, inhale, just keep the legs still, and exhale, relax. Shoulders surrender to gravity. 2 more, float the fingertips up. Exhale, soften. Last time, float fingertips up. Exhale, soften. Keep those shoulders in that same pattern. So you have a beautiful wide chest, like you have a nice necklace on that you'd like to show off. We're gonna bend the knees, bring the soles of the feet down to the mat, heels in line with the sits bones. Press the arms down as you cervical nod, cervical curl, hollowing out the tummy. Lower back stays heavy on the mat, shoulders far from the ears, energize through the fingertips, and then slowly ripple down. Feeling that middle back, upper back, and finally the base of the skull. Return to the mat. Exhale, cervical nod, cervical curl, extending long through the fingertips. Soles of the feet are heavy, especially those big toes. Keep pressing the medial side of the foot down into the mat, and then slowly keeping the hips parallel, we lower down. Just one more like this. Cervical nod, cervical curl, ribs in a downward spiral coming closer to the belly. We're going into the 100. So we're pumping the arms. Inhale for 5, exhale for 5. Here we go. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, vigorously pumping those arms. Keep the focus at mid-thigh or between that gap in the thighs. Keep drawing the navel in. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. One long line from middle finger to shoulder, and really swatting that negative space between underneath the arm and the mat. So you have 2 more sets. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Go ahead and lower the spine down as the base of the skull meets the mat. Anchor the feet into the mat. Relax the shoulder blades. Feel them melt. Soften the sternum, press the heels into the mat as you scoop the tail closer towards the pubic bone. Pubic bone reaches towards the belly button as you slowly lift the hips into a shoulder bridge. Squeezing the glutes right where they meet the hamstrings. No tension in those hips. You're opening them up. Front side of the body is relaxed, so soften the quads, and then exhale, draw the navel in and roll down. So here we're igniting the back space as you scoop the tail, lift the hips up by anchoring the heels into the mat. Make sure you're not flying those ribs open. They stay knitting down towards the belly button so the core is engaged. And then exhale, slowly ripple through the spine. it returns to the mat. Settle that tailbone and then scoop it one more time. Relax the shoulders. See if you can hover the fingertips off the mat as you lift the hips. And we're gonna lower just an inch. Start to pulse. Lower, exhale, lift. Squeeze the glutes. Lower, exhale, lift. We lower, exhale, lift. Arms are soft. Press the big toe into the mat for 4. Ignite those inner thighs. It's 3. Exhale, lift. 2 more. It's 2. Exhale, lift. Last one. Exhale, lift. We're going to lower just the right sits bone down toward the mat, finding an asymmetrical pelvis, and then root that right heel into the mat. Oppositional push and pull as that right hip meets the left neutral pelvis. Left side lowers. Exhale, lift it up. Use your breath. Inhale, lower, hover. Exhale, press, lift. Left side lowers. Exhale, lift it up. Again, to the right. Feeling that ringing out in the spine, finding those external obliques as you work the glutes. 2 more sets. It's right. Exhale, lift. Base of the skull is supported by the floor. Give me a little bit more length in the back of the neck. 1 more each side. Exhale, lift it up as a function of pressing the heel down. Hips meet parallel, lift them 1 inch higher, and then draw the navel in, round down. Slowly returning each vertebrae to the mat to find that neutral pelvic position. Cervical nod, cervical curl coming up. And we're going to bring that right leg in as we extend the left leg out long, going into single leg series. So really place the hands gently on the shins and we begin to switch the legs. And switch. You're up at the base of the shoulder blades. Legs don't need the arms, but they help encourage that stretch in the hip. Find a natural breath. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Elbows wide, shoulders far from the ears. It's right and left. It's right and left. Keep that lower back heavy in the mat. 2 more sets. Right and left. Last one. Right and left. Hug both knees in and lower the spine. Keep the legs in tabletop. Open the arms to a nice T position. Knees are directly over the hips and shins are trying to stay parallel to the floor. Squeeze the knees together like a $100 bill existed as you tilt the knees over to the right. Allow the left booty cheek to lift off the mat, but keep the left shoulder heavy. Exhale, bring everything center. Tilt up and over to the left as a function of lifting that right booty cheek, stacking it on top of the left, and exhale, center. Shoulders stay heavy. Lift up and over to the right. Tilt and exhale, center. You should be getting a nice stretch on the top side of the body and a lot of work in that bottom oblique. Exhale, center. 1 more time to the right. Exhale, center. No shifting in the feet. They stay glued. Over to the left. Exhale, center. Open up the knees to the width or in line with the hip bone, and finding that 90-degree angle. Reach the arms out long. Take a cervical nod, cervical curl, and as you do so, extend the legs up towards the ceiling without changing the torso. Bend the knees and lower the spine. Again, extend. Blow the air out. Lower back is heavy. And exhale, heels come towards glutes as you lower the spine. Find that relationship as you bring the chin into the chest, the feet extend, reaching up towards the ceiling, then heel comes towards the glute as you lower. 1 more time, exhale, knit those front ribs down towards the belly button, and then slowly lower those legs back to tabletop. Place the palms down on the mat, flex the heels, and we're going into heel taps. Right heel taps the mat. Exhale, draw the navel in, bring it back to center. Left heel taps. Exhale, center. So most important thing here is that the lower back stays heavy. So only move through your own range of motion. Yes, if you can't tap the mat, that's perfectly okay. I'd rather you not put tension on your lower back. You're just lowering the heel as far as you can, finding your own range of motion. It's all a function of the abs. So you're opening up the hip and then drawing the navel in to bring the knee back. Tap right. Keep that space between hamstring and calf. Tap left. Exhale, center. 1 more time each side. It's right. Exhale, center. Make sure you're not drawing that opposing knee into the body. Keep it stacked over the hips. Cervical nod, cervical curl. We're gonna extend the right leg, hover the left leg out, going into scissors. We switch the legs and switch. Just finding a natural change. Legs pass in the air, engage the core, opening up those hamstrings. It's right and left. It's right and left. Two more like this. We add those pulses. Here we go. We go in, switch, in. Inhale as the legs switch. Exhale as they pulse, pulse, pulse. And we're not just talking about the legs. I want you to keep drawing the navel. In. Pulse, 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 pulse. Two more. It's right and left. Last one, right and left. Hug the knees in and slowly lower the spine. Bring those knees close to the chest as if they could fit underneath the armpits. Tail stays heavy, base of the skull supported. And just take a moment here, shrug the shoulders up into the ears. And then exhale, drag the shoulder blades down the back, create space in the upper spine. Again, inhale, shrug the shoulders as you hug those knees tight to the sternum. Exhale, shoulders drop, find length in the back of the neck. Twice more, inhale, shrugging the shoulders, keep hugging those knees tight. Exhale, let it go. And last time, shrug the shoulders and exhale, let it go. Last thing, we're extending those legs out long. Want you to feel the heels heavy in the mat. Reach the arms up to 90 degrees. Seal the insides of the feet closed. And we're going to take a cervical nod, cervical curl, but I want you to plant the left heel into the mat. You're going to hover the right leg off the mat. We're going to cervical nod, cervical curl, rolling up through the spine to balance on the sits bones. Reach up. Keep those ribs behind the tail so you're not trying to curl forward and you're not hinging. You're not in a V-sit. You're using the abs, and then lower heel and head touch the mat at the same time. Plant the right heel into the mat. Take a deep inhale. Exhale, cervical nod, cervical curl, ribs in a downward spiral. Keep scooping the belly in, and then exhale, lower down. One more time each side. Inhale, plant the opposing heel into the mat as you lift the other. And exhale, lower. Keep behind the knee long. Last time. Deep inhale, exhale, rounding up, balancing on the sits bones. And exhale, lower down. Go ahead and bring the soles of the feet together. Reach the arms overhead. Make a nice frog pose, and then open up the arms to an X. So fingertips are reaching beyond those top corners of the mat. Keep the chest wide, opening up the hips, knees melting towards the earth. The ligaments, the tissue in the shoulder runs on a diagonal, so really feel the back of the hand just soften into the floor. Keeping that crease between shoulder and ear. And take deep breaths. Keep returning that lower back down to the mat, knitting those front ribs closed. And then bring those arms back out to a T. Close up the knees. Lift the knees into a tabletop. Insides of the feet stay sealed. And we're just going to open the knees and close it up. Notice how this is work in the core. Knees stay over the hips. You're knitting those front ribs together, drawing the navel in. Open and close. Toes stay kissing. Knees are opening and closing like a butterfly. Two more. Open and close. Last one. Close the knees up. Start to draw circles with the legs. They're moving in opposition like you're riding a bicycle. Keep the lower back heavy. Just like you're pawing at the mat, sliding or gliding over. You're scooping with the toes. Two more. So active rest phase here. Reverse the circle. Move in the other direction. Keep the lower back heavy. Shoulder blades soften. Sternum deepens. Crown of the head is reaching long. You have 4. You have 3. You have 2. And last one, hug those knees back into the chest. Bring the heels close to the glutes, tuck the chin into the chest, and begin to roll up onto the sits bones, never touching the back of the neck. Just rolling to the back of the shoulder blades. Exhale, lift and balance. Inhale, roll back. Exhale, balance. And last one, inhale, roll back. Exhale, balance. Keep the heels tight to the glutes, chin tucked into the chest. Extend the arms out long and hold. Draw the navel in. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead and cross the legs and gently with control stack the spine as you find that same seated position we began in, facing you. Relax the glutes, soften the shoulders, draw those front ribs down, knitting the belly button closer to the spine. Float the eyelids closed. As we close today's practice, just check in with your body. Notice how the body feels right now in this moment. Feel those shoulder blades gliding down the back, and then tilt the right ear over the right shoulder and begin those small U's. Chin tucks into the chest. As you roll to the other side, reverse, coming left to right. Include the breath. Invite the breath to be part of the practice, to ease through the muscles, oxidate the muscles, find that circulation, and find that flow. Starting to the back, right ear over right shoulder, open up the neck as you send the energy towards the back space, and then up and over, reverse. Go over to the right. One more, each side, inhale. Exhale, left ear to left shoulder, and then reverse. Bring that chin all the way into the chest. Interlace the fingertips, bring them behind the head, and close the elbows up, drawing the navel in to allow the forehead to just sink towards the earth, almost like a waterfall is coming up and over the tail, traveling the spine, up the back of the neck, over the crown of the head, cascading down the forearms and dripping towards the earth. Soften even more deep in this stretch. Shoulder blades far from the ears. Take a deep inhale. Expand the rib cage. Exhale, stack the spine up tall, vertebrae by vertebrae. Elbows open to the front corners of the room. And just take a small tilt to the right. Keep the left sits bone heavy. Exhale, stack the spine to the left, almost like you're lifting your ribs off the belly button and then stacking by lifting the opposing side taller. So as we tilt to the right, sand pouring out of the right ear, my left side lengthens to stack the spine, and then up and over to the left. Exhale, stack. Again, the movement never stops. So find that top range of motion and then redirect into the tilt. Knees are soft, tilt up and over to the left. Exhale, stack one more time each side. Lumbar spine is long. Really imagining you're between two panes of glass, very narrow space. And exhale as you stack the spine, crown of the head floats up, reach the fingertips up towards the ceiling, flip the palms, open up the arms, press down, find your own resistance throughout this beautiful body. And then flip the palms, reach up, deep inhale. Exhale, press down, finding the breath. 2 more, inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, press down. And last one, inhale, sweep the arms up. Bring the palms of the hands together and slowly energizing through the fingertips. Bring the thumbs to the sternum. Roll the shoulders away from the ears, elbows wide. Bow the head in gratitude. Feel the heart beating beneath your thumbs. And as you stack the spine, acknowledge the length in the spinal column. Float the eyes open, and thank you so much for joining me today with this practice, and I hope I will see you all next Saturday. Thank you so much. Have a great rest of your day. I hope you feel good in your bodies, longer and stronger, and yes, thank you.